Uniontown, T-Town, touchdown, Alabama, let's get it.
The process, no one can stop this. Hottest show in the streets, I bet you can't top this. Recruiting news and interviews, just sit back and watch this.
Recruiting news and interviews, just sit back and watch this.
The process.
Hey everyone, welcome into The Process, Crimson Tide Recruiting. I'm your host, Justin Smith, scouting and recruiting analyst for Touchdown, Alabama. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. Be sure to hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. Subscribers, hit that notification bell, be notified when we drop content on our YouTube channel. As always, I'm here each week to break down the latest in Crimson Tide football recruiting news. And I want to talk about a couple of things on this episode of The Process. I think it is officially flip season. A lot of kids are rethinking their commitment decisions, backing off of some commitments. We've seen some decommitments here and there. We'll talk about one of the Crimson Tide's top targets pulling off his commitment from a group of 5 school, and I'll also update the Crimson Tide's push for one wide receiver target, and also update the commitment of one of the Crimson Tide's wide receivers commits on this episode of The Process. So let's dive right into things, starting with Jaren Hamilton, a 2023 4-star wide receiver at Buckles High School in Gainesville, Florida. He's currently one of Crimson Tide's top remaining wide receiver targets in the 2023 recruiting class. Crimson Tide offered him during the summer, got him on campus for an unofficial visit during the month of July, on July 31st for the Crimson Tide Champions Cookout. He visited Crimson Tide earlier this season for an unofficial visit to watch a game live in person. He will get back to Tuscaloosa next week for an official visit when the Crimson Tide take on the Auburn Tigers. The Crimson Tide are currently trending in Hamilton's recruitment, according to the sources that I have talked to. Also, an opportunity to talk with his dad earlier this evening. A story will be written about Hamilton, basically diving into what type of player he is and also what type of young man he is off of the football field. But his dad told me that he knows that if Jaren chooses to go to Alabama and chooses to go along with the Crimson Tide in the future, he knows that it will be a good decision for him to make. He feels comfortable sending Hamilton to Tuscaloosa. He feels comfortable sending Jaren to Nick Saban and Alabama's coaching staff. He knows that they will put him in the best position to succeed after his football days are over, to succeed at the next level as a wide receiver. He has a lot of confidence in the Alabama football program, in the structure. Has talked with Nick Saban several times, so he feels good about the possibility of Jaren moving on and possibly choosing the Crimson Tide. But like I said, that story will be on touchdownalabama.com here pretty soon. We actually had an opportunity to see Hamilton play earlier this season, and he was really impressive. The first thing that a lot of people talk about is his speed. His speed is impressive, but I was impressed with his route running ability, his size. He's 6'2", a true 6'2", a legit 6'2". He passes the eye test, and his frame is really put together as well. He has a really nice frame at about 185-ish, I think, in that 170, 180 range, but he has some muscle to his frame. His tone is defined at the moment, so he passes the eye test in terms of his size. So he's not a skinny guy with a lot of speed. He's a guy with a nice frame, nice size, who plays with some physicality, can be dynamic after the catch, not only with that speed but also with that toughness. Sort of reminds me of a little bit of John Mechie in terms of his toughness, because Mechie wasn't the best route runner, wasn't the fastest guy. Hamilton is definitely, I feel, faster than Mechie was, but the thing that was really impressive about Mechie coming out of high school was his physicality, how physical he was. Actually played safety when he was in high school, and that was why he made that big hit on that Florida cornerback that time when he picked the ball off and he made him fumble a couple of seconds later. But Hamilton sort of fits that mold in terms of being a tough, physical, fast wide receiver. So I really like what Jaren Hamilton brings to the table, and I feel the Crimson Tide are in a really great position with him at the moment. A great official visit next weekend should help the Tide continue to be in a great position and possibly seal things up, in my opinion. So that is the update I wanted to provide to you guys on Jaren Hamilton, a 4-star wide receiver in the 2023 recruiting class with the Crimson Tide are going after. The Tide also have their eyes on another wide receiver who they have a commitment from, but they want to keep him intact, want to make sure that he stays on board, because you know that Texas and Texas A&M may take another swing at him. They were two of the teams he were considering before he committed to the Crimson Tide. I'm talking about Jalen Hill, the 2023 4-star wide receiver at Longview High School in Texas, committed to the Crimson Tide over Georgia, Texas, and Texas A&M. Like I said, Texas looked like they were the leader in Hamilton's recruitment for quite some time there, but the Tide were able to hold off the Longhorns by getting Hamilton back on campus for an unofficial visit. On that same weekend, they hosted Jaren Hamilton for their Champions Cookout on July 31st. Both of those guys actually connected during that visit. Hamilton has talked about his relationship with Jalen Hill with me in the past, and Hill has told me yesterday that he's still locked in with the Crimson Tide. His commitment is still firm. The Tide do not have anything to worry about, but at the moment he is focused on his senior season. He wants to bring Longview High School a state championship, so that is his main focus, not his recruitment. He wanted to let me know that he's locked in with the Tide, but his main focus, his main objective is bringing home a Texas state championship to Longview High School, and he has been dynamic this season. Has pulled in 13 total touchdowns, 11 receiving touchdowns, more than 700 yards on 35 receptions. And with that count, look at that number count, he has made some big plays. He has been known as a wide receiver who can really make some big plays down the field. I really like his ability to go up and attack the football, go and get it type of wide receivers, and I feel the Crimson Tide needs guys like that on their roster, specifically at the wide receiver position, which is why I think Hale could be in the conversation to make a day one impact, make an impact as a freshman. I think he will have that potential, but of course it all depends on how he comes into the program, works hard, and shows the Crimson Tide's coaching staff that he is ready. But I also want to talk about on today's episode is 2023 four-star linebacker Jaren Carter, who was originally one of the Crimson Tide's top flip targets, but he's actually not a flip target anymore because he's not committed to Memphis. He decommitted from Memphis on Wednesday, reopened his recruitment. He's going to consider a couple of different schools, including Alabama, Ohio State, and others. The Buckeyes recently hosted him for an official visit. I think this could be a commitment that comes down to both of those programs, and both of those programs have so much to offer. I think the Tide are in a really good position with Carter planning to host him for an official visit in the future before National Signing Day. Spoke highly of the Tide when he got that offer, just talking about their culture, the different culture that they have, the player culture that they have in terms of the players leading the program. Also talked about what it means to play at Alabama just based on the success that they have had. Has spoken highly of Nick Saban, talking about how he feels he is real and genuine. The guy that you see on the TV a lot of times is the guy that he felt he met when the Crimson Tide offered him earlier in the season. Has visited the Crimson Tide a couple of times this season as well. We actually did a video breakdown recently on Jaren Carter on our YouTube page. Be sure to check that out. But just going back to that film breakdown, and that film that really got college coaches on Jaren Carter, if you watch that film, you see the physicality that he plays with. You see the speed. I also like his ability to make nice, effective tackles. You see him being physical and at the point of contact, making guys stop their momentum when they're running towards him. Seems to be really comfortable in space, and I think that goes back to his experience actually as a running back, because he plays on both sides of the football at his current high school. So Jaren Carter has decommitted from Memphis, reopened his recruitment. The Crimson Tide look to be one of the favorites. I think this could come down to Alabama and Ohio State. I think the Buckeyes and the Crimson Tide are going to be involved in some intense recruiting battles over the next couple of weeks here, heading into National Signing Day. Also looking at a guy like Keon Keeley, the 5-star defensive end edge rusher, who the Buckeyes and the Tide, I feel, are going to continue to battle it out for. But that is what I wanted to talk about on this episode of The Process. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. Be sure to hit that like button, hit the subscribe button as well. Subscribers, hit that notification bell to be notified when we drop content on our YouTube page. Then head over to touchdowналabama.com. Pick up your subscription today. With that subscription, you will be able to read all of our subscriber-only articles, get your hands on our yearly prints magazine issue as well. Then head over to the Google Play Store if you have Android device, or to the App Store to download the Touchdown Alabama app. As always, I am Justin Smith, scouting and recruiting analyst for Touchdown Alabama.
Process.